as people were giving their titles. If you ask my family, my title is Afternoon Dad. That, I'm in a family of 4, and my partner and I adopted our son and daughter 5 years ago through DC foster care. So Patrick's the morning dad, and he gets the kids ready for school. I'm the afternoon dad who picks them up and makes certain they do their homework and all the important activities. But I'm here today as really proud of that afternoon dad role, that I think becoming a dad for Jaden tonight is probably the best thing I've done, and that I'm picturing my remarks today going out to other potential parents, and that if I had something to say to them, I think the biggest obstacle that prevents people from becoming families like ours is homophobia. And there's homophobia both on the inside and on the outside. And I think the first thing parents need to do, potential parents, is look at the homophobia on the inside. And I've talked to lots of potential parents, and we agonize, like, how do you know if you're going to be the right type of person to be a parent? I don't have a magic answer, and there's lots of books, but I would say the guiding principle for me is that an adoption is basically a commitment to a child. And commitment means you're going to be there to love them. A commitment means you're going to be there for the long haul. And so if you can say, yes, I have the capacity to love, yes, I'm willing to do the hard work to stick with all it takes to become a family, then you've already answered the most fundamental questions and you can launch forward. But still, homophobia creeps in at this point. And I was recently talking with a lesbian couple who were thinking about adopting older kids, and they wanted to talk to Patrick and I. Some of their first questions were, did your kids know you were gay? Like, they were 7 and 9. What did they think about this? And I mean, those are real questions to ask, and they're fair questions, but it somehow implies that, you know, if kids had choices, you know, they wouldn't pick this kind of family, that, you know, they only picked you because you were the only ones there. And that's just a wrong way to think about it. That if you asked our kids actually were asked, that their social worker who was helping them find families at this point said, you're going to meet all sorts of families. You're going to meet black families and white families, and it just so happened that the family you're going to meet next has 2 dads and 2 dogs, to which Jaden replied, 2 dogs? And we met them at Jeepers a week later, and we fell in love with them. They said to their social worker, she was taking them home, you don't have to show us any more families. We picked them. So did they get it? Did they understand that they were going into a 2-dad, white dad family? Yeah. And for them, for a 7 and 9-year-old, the most important thing to them was, are these people who are going to take care of us and love us and keep us safe? And they knew, they felt that we gave them the right answer, that yes, they could. So for a kid in foster care, that's what they care about. If you ask them, you know, does it matter the race of people that you're going to be living with? Does it matter if it's 2 men, 2 women, 1 man, 1 woman? No, no. You know, will they love me? Will they take care of me? So put that kind of homophobia aside. Yet, once you become a parent, we actually talk about homophobia all the time. Jaden is now 14. He started high school this past year. And we thought, like, we had talked about these issues before, and yeah, early on, one of our first outings was we came to HRC for the protest against DOMA and back, you know, under Bush's administration. And I just remember coming here, and they're like, now why are we going here? And it's like, because the president doesn't understand families come in all shapes and sizes. And that's kind of been the mantra. And it's like, so as a 7 and 9-year-old, like, they got that. Not everyone understands this, but families come in all shapes and sizes. So the issue wasn't finished, though. It like cycles through. And so now that Jaden is 14, it's the first day of school, we're all ready to drop him off. And he's like, drop me off 2 blocks before you get to the school. And it's been a big issue for him this year that there's new kids at the school and they don't know that I have two dads. And so we revisit it and we talk through it again. And like Patrick and I just want to show up, that would kill him. So we're sort of negotiating, talking to other teachers, figuring out how is he going to navigate his world. But I guess that's where homophobia would say, do we want to spare him that? No, no. You know, he's got this great loving family that our role isn't to help him avoid homophobia, it's to help him work his way through it, figure out the answers for himself. And whether it's homophobia or racism, I mean, that mantra, all families come in all shapes and sizes. Like every adopted kid knows that their family's different, however it was formed. And so I think that the fact that we're gay parents and we understand a little bit of what it's like to be different, that somehow we impart life lesson to our kids. And will we understand what it's like to be adopted? No, we don't. But we know what it's like to be different. And I hope that we're empowering them to deal with the challenges. So homophobia would say, don't even try. I'm saying, rise up. If you have that loving capacity, you'll help your kids deal with the struggle. So don't let that stop you. And then there's homophobia on the outside. And I don't have the answers for that either, but that's just as important. And I guess that's what this program is about today. Patrick and I recently got married in San Francisco this past summer. We took our kids with us, and they were our witnesses. And I thought that was a cool way for them to understand and be part of our relationship to help celebrate it. So 2 weeks later, 2 weeks ago, was a rally on the mall in protest of Proposition 8, you know, the defeat of Proposition 8. And so tonight I was all excited to go. Jaden was like, this is so gay. It's like, you're right, Jaden, it really is. And I guess at 14, you know, your dad's bringing you to this kind of protest. It's like, you know, how do you tell your friends in school? You know, that's what I did over the weekend. And so he still figures it all out himself. But it just brought home that our families do count. I guess my last remarks are just things that I've heard as I've been through this process. And one of the things that hurts me most is when I hear people say, why would you adopt through foster care? Foster care kids are damaged. They're broken, you know, so why would you do that? In the light of all the stuff in California, you know, there's people who are saying LGBT folks are second-class citizens. They don't deserve what everyone else can have. And in the world of adoption, you'll find a mindset that says adoptive parents aren't as good as real parents. Somehow they're less. And so you hear all those things, and I think those are the things that discourage people from trying. But the reality is, those people are wrong. For me, for Patrick, for Jaden, for Tanaya, the best thing we ever did was become a family. The most loving thing I've ever done as a person is become a dad. And so I think, as I'm talking to these potential parents in my mind, if you can grasp that this might be the best thing that you do, it might be the most significant thing, you know, just basically a good thing that you might do in your life, that's the kind of thing that you'll rely on, you'll use to confront all the rest of the homophobia. So, you know, when a social worker says a disparaging remark, you'll know I'm doing something good, and you'll keep on going. So if this program, this new initiative can help people just, you know, envision for themselves becoming a family, then I'm really excited to be part of that and to help support and encourage that. I brought a few pictures. I'll let you take a peek at what my family looks like.